Hello, I'm Alaska Latina, and this was Christmas Eve, so I had to make some goodies. You would think I would have a plan, but actually, I definitely do not. So, if you're new here, this is actually nothing new for me. I tend to be a little bit of a basket case, tend to be a little bit of all over the place. So, welcome to the Ish Show. Yeah. So, when I first started this, like I said, I had no idea what I was doing because, well, I just have no clue. But I did have some of the puff pastries. I had a little bit of cream cheese left. I still had a little bit of filling and some chocolate. So we're going to end up making a disaster, making a mess. So what I did was added some sugar. If you're new here also, I really don't measure. I measure with love. I measure with how much I have available versus what I actually need. So we're just gonna go ahead and mix a little sugar, mix a little bit of the vanilla extract in there. Yes, we're gonna do the cheap stuff because, well, I'm not rich, so you know. So we're just gonna go ahead. I softened it up. If you're in a hurry, you can also microwave for like 10 seconds or so at a time with the cream cheese. So puff pastry, we're gonna go ahead and leave it out for about 45 to 50 minutes outside of the wrapper, outside of the box, and it's gonna thaw out perfectly. So I'm just cutting it here. I am making a couple that are gonna be for my son, my younger son. He's gonna go to a friend's house later for like a Christmas Eve type of party. I can't believe, like, he's my youngest and he's already asking, hey, can I go hang out with so-and-so during the holidays or during, this or that? I'm like, okay. As a tear falls from my eye. But you know what? It is what it is. I knew eventually one of these days those little fuckers would have to grow up. Don't like it. But, I guess it's better than going to jail for kidnapping my own kid. Oh yeah, I'm still thinking about it. Locking them up. But anyways, so I add a little egg wash. Ended up adding, the filling and stuff. I'm noticing that it's easier to do the egg wash before I add the little cream cheese and stuff. It just makes it so much easier instead of going around and making a mess. I don't know, for me. I actually ended up making some more on Christmas. Ended up making some mini ones so my son can actually take, both of my boys can take them to his friends, and my older one's significant other, his girlfriend. So yeah, I ended up making a whole bunch of treats and stuff. I also ended up making like peanut butter cookies. I ended up making peanut butter balls. I ended up making a bunch of stuff. I like baking. I like cooking. If you're new here, this is also my therapy. It's like my me time. I also need another dishwasher, a huge one, because some of my pots and pans, something like delicate, something big, something delicate that won't mess up my pots and pans that I can't put into the dishwasher, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. So the egg wash, like I said, I learned to do this before, and I didn't quite do it here. I did it on Christmas. Yeah, I learned my lesson, but in this video I didn't quite learn it yet. But it is easier if you just kind of do the egg wash outside. And for the egg wash, sometimes I'll add a little bit of milk, not milk, but water, just a smidge, and it works. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. On this one I did not. I just kind of forgot. Yeah. Another thing you need to learn about me is that, like I said, I'm a basket case. I'm all over the place. This is nothing new. I also don't spend a whole lot of time editing my videos. I probably should. Maybe I'll get more views. I don't know. This is the thing that I want to do for fun. Definitely not oh my gosh, I want to have to do this so I can pay my bills. No, I got my 9 to 5 and I do this because I enjoy it. I really do. So if you keep on watching, thank you. Totally appreciate you. And for the people that think I'm making money off here, I'm not. One day, if I get to fill up my gas can or my gas tank out of money that I made on YouTube, oh my gosh, I'm gonna feel like amazing. If I only do that once, hey, that's cool. I was able to make a little bit of money on here, right? Well, we'll see. Definitely have not had that opportunity yet, but you know what, it is what it is. What are your guys' some of Christmas traditions? So I grew up a little bit okay, not the best childhood. So I always try to do things for my kids. This year, since they're pretty much practically all adults except for the little one, it's only like 4 months away, but Okay, so real quick, so what I'm doing here, I'm just adding like the thicker sugar, just cause we didn't really notice a big difference. There wasn't no crunch or anything like that, so you can skip it. It just, I don't know. I thought it would do something, but apparently not. So this is actually me again. And these ones are gonna be little chocolate croissants. I don't know, I just like saying croissants. Okay, yesterday these turned out good, but yesterday Christmas I ended up making some other ones, and I ended up just kind of folding it almost like a wonton wrapper, where you add the corners up and stuff, and then you pinch it and twist and stuff, you know what I mean. Well, they ended up opening up, and then my husband, he ate them, but then he's like, oh, try these, your mom made chocolate diapers or something like that. And he started calling them dirty diapers after that. I'm like, oh my god. He's like, what? They taste good, but they do kind of look like dirty diapers. I'm like, oh my god, you don't really have to say that about a pastry that I made. And he looks at me and just starts laughing, and then calls one of my boys, hey, tell me the truth, doesn't it look like your mom made dirty diapers? And then my boy started laughing. So yeah, the joys of being a parent or a wife. So these actually came out pretty good. The only reason I made the other ones the way I did was just because I wanted to be different, and I do tend to do stuff like that sometimes. I don't learn my lesson. I know. But these actually came out pretty good. Okay, so now we're working on some dip. I ended up getting, this is like super easy, super simple. You don't have to like measure anything out perfectly. This is just me beating the crap out of the spinach. So you can also add crab to it, which I'm going to do for New Year's. It's the same exact thing. Just add some crab to the mix. So it doesn't have to be precise, but I usually do equal amounts of cream cheese too. Well, almost equal amounts, just a little less sour cream than the cream cheese. Sometimes I'll put cheese, like extra, like shredded cheese on there in the mix. Sometimes I don't. I didn't on this one. And you just add, however much you want of whatever. I ended up using some, Old Bay seasoning, because I'm lacking seasonings right now. We're towards the end of the year, and I don't want to go big grocery shopping until the week after New Year, so I can kind of like juice some stocking up. But I also don't want to do too much, because we're going to be hopefully moving by the latest May, fingers crossed, maybe, kind of, sort of, I don't know, we'll see. So I don't know what I'm doing here. I think my husband was trying to talk to me, and I don't know what I'm doing. I just have a freaking some food in my hand. But I'm just, kind of squishing up the artichoke hearts. That was the last of the artichokes, at least in the jar. We still have a couple of cans, so we're good. We're good there. Not a crisis yet, but we are getting close. So I just like mushing it up a little bit. I ended up mixing it all in together, and voila, we're good to go. See, just a little seasoning. We're all good. So I actually made some, I think it was last week. I'm pretty sure I posted it. And this is just pretty much the same recipe, almost exactly the same recipe that I ended up making the other day. You can add stuff, like I said, the one that I'm going to use for New Year's, I'm definitely going to add some cheese probably, but also definitely some crab. And you just stick that in in the oven. Okay, so you see here, I did add cheese, but it was on top. So you're going to put it in the oven for about 450 degrees for about 15 or so minutes. And then just, if you want, you can put it on broil for just a couple minutes to kind of give it, that burnt cheesy look on top, if that's what your heart desires. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Just kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for. Do you see that big old block of cheese? We go through a lot of cheese, and also cheese doesn't really go totally bad, I think, at anybody's house, because if it does, you can just go ahead and cut some of that cheese off, that moldy cheese, and you're good to go. I also just realized I need to do something with that Tapatio bottle. I really do. But okay, so this is just me pushing this down, and we are about good to go. So real quick, not sure if anybody noticed, but that clip kind of ran over twice a little bit, and I cut that off. Okay, so here's the croissants that I made. Look, they look so tasty. And people are going to think that you spent hours on them, but you didn't. You did it at all whatsoever. And it's awesome. So with that dip, we need to mix some chippies. Yes, we're going to get some chips going, and I'm not going to go to the store. I could go to the store, buy them, but I'm not going to. And we have some chocolate left. We got some crackers we're gonna do. We're gonna make this stuff. It looks so good. So good. And the chips. Nothing like homemade chips, and this is just me making a mess. Chip and dip. You have to try. It's delicious. And of course the chocolate. Trust me, you need to make this super simple. And I was kind of surprised, wasn't sure what was going on, but it actually ended up being pretty tasty. Not too bad, super easy, super simple. You have to do this. And this was dinner. Actually, technically this was actually a snack. We ended up having some halibut for dinner. And some fries, of course. And there we go. Simple, easy, and stinking delicious. I hope you guys have a wonderful year. Only a few days left. I hope you guys had an amazing holiday.